I was 10 minutes late for Mom. As I came up on the escalator, I saw her standing in front of the rabbit hutch, and for a minute, she wasn't my mom at all. She was just a lady, and I saw her the way any of the people pushing past her would see her. Thin, not very tall, loose dark hair, wearing a gray skirt, and a gray and pink striped blouse was tied at the neck. Pretty. Young looking. Sad. The way Nick had seen her the day he took that picture. Oh, Mom, don't be sad, it's okay. I was at the top now. She noticed me and waved, and the sadness was gone. She pointed to a round Santa Claus asleep on his back on one of the mall benches. He was snoring gently, and on the mound of his stomach a printed notice moved up and down as he puffed in and out. It said, "Don't wake me till Christmas Eve. I'm resting up for the big night." A bunch of little kids stood staring at him, mouths open. Mom put her arm around my shoulders and hugged me tight against her for just a minute. I was thinking, what a pity it is that Santa has to end for kids. Was that truly what she'd been thinking? Why she looked sad? "Only 3 days till Christmas," she said. "I'm beginning to feel like Scrooge, wishing it were all over. That's what working at Jarvis's department store will do to you." This didn't seem like the right time to bring up Nick. But maybe there would never be a right time, and I had to get it out. "Mom, I have to tell you something. I think Nick's coming into our house when we're not there." Mom's face seemed to soften. "Honey, what if he is? Do you mind that much? I gave him a key for emergencies, like the time I left the iron on, and..." "Yeah, and so he can go in and use the washer and dryer. I know, he told me. Anyway, Miss Coriander and Miss Sarah have an emergency key." "That's true," Mom bit her lip. "I'm not sure he does come in when we're not there. Nick's pretty sensitive." "Sure," I muttered. She didn't seem to hear. "But if it bothers you to think he might, well, I'll just tell him not to. I think he eats our food." "Our food?" I heard the Mom's astonishment and the whine in my voice. "Well, I can't imagine why he'd do that," she said. "What makes you think he does?" "I think he took a piece of meatloaf, and he definitely ate bread and used the peanut butter." "Forget it," I said. "I'm not even sure. I just thought you'd want to know." "I do want to know. You were right to tell me, Marcus. I'll ask him first." No, don't. I feel dumb now. It'll only make me look stupid, and I hate looking stupid in front of him." Mom nodded seriously, her eyes on my face, and then for some reason she hugged me again. "So, you remembered to go home first and get the gifts. Shall we go to the wish tree before we eat?" "Let's. That'll give me a chance to get hungrier. Robbie and I ate a bunch of stuff earlier." She took one of the packages from me as we walked through the mall, and I could see that the subject of Nick was finished, for now anyway. The wish tree started 3 or 4 years ago. At the beginning of December, it's hung with Christmas ornaments made of paper, each with a wish written on it, signed by a foster child. There were 800 wishes on the tree to begin with, and they'd all been taken by people who wanted to make a wish come true for one of the kids. The wish I'd taken was for Eric G., age 9. He wanted a clue game, and I'd bought it with my own money and wrapped it in Christmas paper that had rocket ships and space Santas on it. I was glad I had taken Eric's wish. He wasn't that much younger than I was, and he didn't have a mom or dad. "Remember how you used to like Clue yourself?" Mom had asked. Yeah. Maybe I still did. Maybe that's what I'd been doing these past couple of days, playing a big old game of Clue. I put the flat package with Eric's name on it in the gift collection barrel. The wish Mom had taken was for Abby M., age 2, who wanted a baby doll. We'd gotten her a real nice one in Jarvis's toy department at 20% off, Mom's employee discount. The doll had a pink dress and drank from a baby bottle. Mom had held it for the longest time before she wrapped it. And I thought that she could be thinking how she might have had a little girl herself if Dad hadn't been sick for so long and hadn't died. Maybe she would have been buying her a doll this Christmas. There were a lot of things that might have been different for Mom. I thought she'd been weepy when she was wrapping Abby M's gift, but now she looked happy as she put it into the barrel. "Merry Christmas, Abby," she whispered. And then she said to me, "Isn't it nice to be able to make children's Christmas wishes come true even just a little bit?" One of the volunteers smiled her thanks at us, and Mom and I stood for a minute in this quiet little corner with the mall crowds bustling past us. The two of us like an island in a river. The tree made me think of far-off forests and clean mountain air. Christmas music splashed in little bursts around us. "This is one of my favorite parts of Christmas," Mom said. "It helps me to remember what it's all about." She took my hand and held it all the way to the rabbit hutch. I didn't mind. I guess I had made the wrong choice, though, in going to the wish tree first, because now there was a line to get into the restaurant. While we stood there, I gave Mom Miss Sarah's message about the turkey salad, and then I noticed Mom was smiling and nodding at someone in the line in front of us. "Marcus," she whispered. "Quick, what are their names? You know the parents of that girl in your class." I stepped out of line to look and was face to face with Angelica Trotter. I don't know which one of us was more shocked. I was flabbergasted. Not because she was here. Half of the world is in this mall before Christmas, and half of the shoppers want to eat the rabbit hutch. It was because of the way Angelica looked. "What's her name?" Mom asked softly, and I got a grip on myself and said, "Angelica Trotter." "Oh, right, I remember." And then Mom was saying, "Nice to meet you again, Mrs. Trotter, Mr. Trotter." "Hello, Angelica." She and Angelica's parents were smiling at each other. I was staring at Angelica. She was staring at her feet. Mr. and Mrs. Trotter were having a whispered conversation. Then they left their place in line and let the people between us go ahead of them and step back so they were next to us. Angelica trailed behind. "You know my son Marcus?" Mom asked. And Angelica's parents said, "Yes, yes." And then her father said, "You are the young man who had the excellent stamp collection in the open house way back in 5th grade. I was mumbling yes and making myself concentrate on him and not Angelica. And Mom was beaming and saying, "How nice of you to remember." I was looking so intently at Angelica's father that I could have probably gone home and drawn such a good picture of him that anybody would instantly pick him out of a police lineup. Not that he's ever likely to be in one. Small, little chubby glasses, and her mother, brownish hair, small, very serious looking, but nice, homey. My eyes kept popping towards Angelica. Angelica's face was bare, the way it used to be. She had only one set of eyebrows. Her lips were pale pink instead of red and green. Her hair was pretty and soft. Normal looking. I couldn't get over it. Angelica looked the way she'd looked in 6th grade. Angelica was absolutely gorgeous. "I expect you and Angelica know each other quite well," her mother smiled across at me. Yes." I was overcome by Angelica. Mom